I noticed that the federal minister thanked you as well for providing feedback to her, which was then used by the authorities. It's good to see that sort of cooperation between political parties at a time of national or natural emergency. You just have to do that, I guess.
Yeah, Kieran, to be honest, mate, I don't care how people vote. And when we're in a natural disaster, I don't care if you love the other side, you hate my colour of shirt. I couldn't care less. At the end of the day, we want to keep people safe. We want to make sure they have the best information. And for Townsville to be supported, the federal Labor minister needs to know what's happening. I spoke to her every day. I asked her to come to Townsville. She's come to Townsville. We'll be meeting up again soon to go around, and I'll show her some affected areas because for the last few days I've been standing side by side with the Queensland Police Service, the Australian Defence Force, veterans and the community, building sandbag, stopping areas for that water we're going to go into, filling sandbags. Mate, there was a really, really tragic circumstance that happened recently, and we got a solution. There was a lady with cerebral palsy. She's wheelchair bound, and she had water all through her place, and she was laying on this mattress that was soaked. She was scared. She had nowhere to go, and I called up some army mates of mine. We went around, picked up her electronic wheelchair, took her to a safe location, and now she has accommodation for a period of time. But her place is wet, inundated with water, and will have mould all through it. But this is what we've seen in Townsville. Local legends, heroes come together to make sure people are safe.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Great to see the community chipping in where needed, and for those most vulnerable too, Phil. Give us a sense of the mood, though. And I know that you've praised the resilience of the community, so did David Crisafulli. But what's the mood like, given I don't think you've seen anything of this magnitude in terms of the rain and flood event? It's certainly not been something that we've seen in Townsville in recent years.
No, it's been a long time, about 6 years since the 2019 flood occurred. People have been through natural disasters in the north, and the people I've spoken to, they've said they've been through cyclones, been through floods, but every natural disaster is different. So that's why people are listening to the warnings from the emergency services. The mood has gone from, the quite anxious watching the tide and watching the floods come in to now going, okay, we know where it's at, we know where we're at as a community, who needs help, how do we support? The amount of messages that I've been getting of people wanting to help each other, help their neighbour, is truly remarkable. And the mood on the ground is that. It is, we are here to help each other, we are here to look after each other. And I've said the same thing to the Premier, to the Labor Minister, to Peter Dutton. This is where the work happens now, because people's homes and livelihoods have been wrecked, and we need to come together and make sure that we support them through the cleanup, through the recovery, and then post after.
Phillip Thompson joining us from Townsville. Thanks. I appreciate you making the time. I know it's a busy period for you helping out too, so thanks.
Thanks, mate. I appreciate having me.